frustration is probably the biggest feeling at this moment in time. I think for us to come back like we did and as strongly as like we did in the second half, and almost spend the majority of the second half in their half of the field and be positive and keep pressing, to concede a goal the way we did. It was almost a League One goal. It wasn't a Premier League goal where they put 5 or 6, 8 passes together and play through you. So yeah, a little bit frustrated, but like you say, obviously delighted with the way they approached certainly the second half of the game. And if they put any performances or a string of performances like that together in the coming weeks, then we'll still be competing on two fronts.
I think a lot of people predicted 2-0 Middlesbrough got this game's money, but what did you say to your players at half time? They certainly came out looking very lively.
Yeah, they did, and I asked them to sort of trust the information that they were given before the game. We went with 2 proper strikers up top today, which we haven't done for a while. And the reason for that is just I felt we could get down the sides of the centre halves, and we were a little bit reluctant to do that in the first half, and I thought we were playing to their hands and playing in front of them too much. And we turned them a couple of times early doors, and I think the players got a bit of belief from that, because they end up being camped in their half of the field, and I think they grew in confidence from there. And I think once we got the goal, the second one probably come a lot quicker than normally you would expect it. And yeah, it looked as if it was going to be one of them fantastic comebacks, but wasn't to be. And we move on very quickly, but we've had a good run.
2 quality goals as well. Chris Maguire, fantastic. But still have to put it in the back of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chris has obviously done that on 3 or 4 occasions for us this season. I actually fancied him more in the one in the first half, because it was a little bit further out. But and the second one, it was a bit of decent play. We won the ball back high, deep in their half, and they could have quite easily panicked in front of goal, but they didn't, and they've asked Guzan to make a good save, and obviously Tony's been there to put it away, and it'll do the world of wonders for his confidence as well.
Confidence for the team, of course, coming to some of them playing the manner in which you did.
Yeah, absolutely, but they need to take that on. We can talk about it, and you just said it, and I can say it to them as much as I want till I'm blue in the face. But they have to take that type of tempo and that type of positivity that they're showing in the second half into Charlton on Tuesday, because if they don't, we won't win the game. We'll lose the game. It's as simple as that. There's some strong sides in League One, as we've found this year, and we've got another 16 cup finals really to look forward to, because if we are going to compete on 2 fronts, with the fact that we're in the semi-final of the Checkered Trade, if we do want to compete on 2 fronts, we're probably going to have to win at least 10 of the last 16 games, which isn't going to be easy. Yeah, he did. It's one of them, and there was no issues with the penalty. It was a definite penalty, and I thought Stuart Downing was excellent in terms of he was very clever where he took his first touch, and he used the pace of obviously Mags trying to get back in. So no issues with that at all. Had a lot of issues with the one that we didn't get, and then the one that they won with. But I'll leave the officials to describe why that was given and wasn't given. But no, I think Chris is a big game player, and he turns up when the big games come along, and he'll certainly be there knocking at the door consistently between now and the end of the season.
What were the issues when you noticed that there was 4 your lads at the end, stood on the pitch watching the replay on the big screen at the full time, they clearly had some sort of problem with it. What was the issue there?
He was just Negredo was pinning Curtis Nelson. He was just grabbing his shirt so he couldn't literally attack the ball. And obviously that affected the first contact, and they got a little bit of luck. I think Negredo just got a bit of a nick on it when he tried to do the overhead kick, and to be fair, it was a good finish at the back post.
How much pride do you feel in your players? What was your level of excitement like when it went to 2-2?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was delighted, and from a pride point of view, I am very proud, and I suppose tomorrow at some point I would probably feel more proud of him. At the minute I'm just a little bit frustrated, because like I say, we came here today to win the game. We didn't come here to compete and enjoy the day or anything like that. That's the reason why we went with 2 strikers up top. We wanted to win the game, I knew it was going to be difficult, but there is a belief in the camp that they can compete.
Did you think you were going to win it when it went to 2-2?
Yeah, I thought there was only going to be one winner. You know, I think one thing I would say, I just mentioned out there to the lads, I thought the crowd here were magnificent when it went to 2-2. I thought they really stuck with Borough, and they really got behind them at that point. And you know, it was refreshing to see, because I've obviously been to some stadiums when that happens in a lower league side, do come back, and there's a lot of moans and groans sometimes. But to be fair to the Borough fans, I thought they were magnificent. Yeah, well, listen, we see it week in, week out. We had, I think, 4,000 turn up at MK, didn't we, a couple of months back, and they're incredible supporters, and they follow the team up and down the country. And I'm sure they'll have a good day, and they've had a good day today, and they'll be proud of the way the players have performed, certainly in that second half. But we're going to need them between now and the end of the season, because we've got a lot of big games coming up, and we've got a very, very big one in the semi-final against Luton coming up as well, which we're all looking forward to.
I'm really pleased, because I had said before the game that Oxford was a really good team. They beat Newcastle in the previous game, and I said that we had to be really careful. We had the game completely under control, because our approach to the game today was completely different when we played against Accrington, for example, and the game was completely under control. But once again, when you think that everything is done, you are making a big mistake, even playing against a really good League One team. But you have to be always 150% concentrated, especially in this country, because again, when you lose your concentration and you think that everything is done, it's a big problem.
Did you think the players switched off?
Sometimes it's difficult to keep all the concentration, especially when you are playing against a League One team and winning 2-0, but we have to learn. And thankfully we conceded 2 goals, but we are in the next round. But it's a good lesson for us for the future.
Very good substitutions as they paid off.
Yes, of course. I know when I put 11 players on the pitch at the beginning of the games, I have to think about the 90 minutes, about the different competitions. And today I knew that I had a very good team on the pitch, and I have a very good players on the bench. And when the game was going down, when the players started to feel the pressure, when you put Negredo, Estuani and Ramirez on the pitch, they are good players and they are quality players. So I'm really pleased for all of them, but not just for these 3. I'm really pleased because I can't say just one player, because the players who started the game has played really, really well.
Of course, pleasing to be through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup now. Presumably looking for home top.
Yes, hopefully. But again, the most important thing today was to win the game, to be in the draw tomorrow, and to realize that 3 years ago, I don't think anybody could think that Middlesbrough could be in Premier League and playing the quarterfinals in the FA Cup. So we have to be really pleased. We have to know that we have to keep going together, and we have to try to keep the momentum.
You were worried that before Oxford scored. Did you feel they were getting back into the game?
Always in this football, since I arrived, till the referee didn't say finish, always you are afraid, because again, 1 minute, League One team can change the game. So it's another again a good lesson, because today was Oxford, but the next Saturday is Crystal Palace. So we need to know that we have to play 95 minutes, 150%.
Were you disappointed with the kind of goals you conceded, the way they scored their goals?
Yeah, of course, when you consider a goal, always is disappointing. But again, I prefer to keep today the positive things, and the positive things that the players who are not playing usually, their attitude was really good.
Kid Grant quite an adventurous role. Was that part of the plan to let him push forward and create opportunities?
Yes, because we are in February, and we have 3-4 months ahead that we have to be together. I have to transmit them that all of them are important in this team, because with 3-4 months, 24 players are going to be important. And if today I had played with other players, maybe the players who had played today could have been a little bit disappointed because this kind of games is important to play, and for me as a coach to show them that everybody is going to have his chance.
Do you sense an opportunity in this competition now? I think through Millwall have beaten Leicester as well. There's a real chance there to next draw, isn't it?
I think what's happening in the draw tomorrow, let's see. The main thing is that we are in that draw, and again, 3 years ago, nobody could imagine that we could be in this position.
How close was George? Close friend to playing?
He was ready to play, but yesterday in the training session he felt something, and George is the kind of player who needs to be 100%. He for sure wanted to play because he told me that he wanted to play, but I have to be careful, especially when we don't have Antonio Barragán or other players. So he wanted to play, but I didn't want to take that risk. Christian, really important, and for me it's a shame that maybe he's not recognized as how good he is and how much he's helping us, because his numbers since he arrived here has been amazing, and not just the numbers, the moments. And today he appears in the most difficult moment. In the last game against Brighton, he scored the most important goal. So for me, again, it's a shame that sometimes he's not recognized as he deserves.
Good to be through Aitor, but are you a little bit worried about having to move the Sunderland game in the next round? A midweek fixture, is that a problem?
I am really pleased. I wanted to win the game, and I wanted to be in semi-finals. I want to be in the final, and I want to win the cup, and I want to be in Premier League next season.